Well, hello, good morning. Welcome to another interesting episode. This episode is I titled it specially the Spotlight series because I'm going to be having, a lot of my friends, my people come on here and talk to us. Yes, we need to hear words of wisdom from more highly seasoned people. And I have somebody in the studio with me today. Yay, drum rolls. Okay, just a brief introduction of who my guest is. Today we're talking about people skills 101. So everything about navigating friendships, talking stages, relationships. Today is the day we're gonna, really sit and, dissect the topic. So my guest is a very popular fashion model, fashion influencer. She's also a linguist, the communication specialist. Yeah. And finally, she is an entrepreneur. Yes. She's a hair vendor and she's also a lip care vendor. So without any further ado, let me welcome FAVOUR COXON.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, it's so good to have you on this set. Well, for context, let me break the ice. This person is my sister, so yeah. Just in case you're wondering, this is my sister. All right. So do you want to say anything, or should we just go straight to questions?
I think we should just get straight into it. Yeah.
Okay. So just as an introduction, yeah, the whole rave regarding relationships, friendships.
Yeah.
Confusions here and there, society labels, a lot of things you see on social media. We don't know what to expect in, relationships and friendships today. So the first question will be, in today's culture, right? What do you usually define as a friend? There are people you call, oh, this is my friend, oh, she's my friend, oh, we are cool, we're this, we're that, we have different names, different titles. But if you look at the core, there's no deep commitment. There are no things to actually show or prove that this person is really your friend. So in today's culture, how would you tell somebody that, how would you define a friend? Who would you say a friend is?
Okay. First of all, I think the word friend has been abused a lot in our time. It has now become like a casual term that people just say, oh, this is my friend, that's my friend. And we tend to have forgotten the actual meaning of who a friend is. So I would say a friend is someone that knows you, really knows you. You have a deep connection with this person. It's not just hey, hi, yeah, surface level, social media, something. You guys probably have history. This person has seen you through your ups, your downs, has been there, for the important moments, and you share the same values with this person. So yes, I think that is who a friend is.
I think that's a very beautiful definition, because especially the part where you said during ups and downs, because people can be friends with you when everything is, jovial, everything is going well for you, and then when you're at your lowest, those people are not there.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. So for those listening, you know who a friend is, and to go back to scriptures in Proverbs, it says that a friend is someone who sticks closer like a brother, right? So your friend is there through thick and thin. Your friend is committed to you. Your friend is loyal to you. It's not just he's here one day and the next minute the person is not there. You can't really count on the person, right? Okay, so the second question now I want to ask you is, do you think modern friendships now are becoming transactional? You get, people these days are staying in friendships because, oh, there's something I want to get from you. You have a benefit, you have access, you have influence, there's something they want to gain from you. Not really because of genuine love towards you. So people don't really be friends because, okay, I really like this person, I like your personality, I like who you are. They're just coming to you because, oh, you have money, oh, this girl is popular, do you get? So what do you think? Like, how modern friendships, do you think it's now more transactional?
Okay. Yes, I would say that in these times, people, especially with social media and everything that is going around and trending, people just feel like, oh, if I'm not getting something from you in return, then why am I friends with you? They forget it's important to have a bond with this person that you call a friend. You need to actually love this person. It's more like an investment. You're committed to this person, to their growth, to their improvement. It's not just about what I'm getting from you or what. Obviously, yes, like I said, it's an investment. You pour into the person just as the person would pour into you, but it's not necessarily going to be a 100 every time. Sometimes the person has only 20% to give or 50% to give, and then at that point you're the person to make up or fill up, for that space. So
I think that's a very important thing to note. I remember, if you remember Olushola, one popular guy, Olushola, he talked about, there was this video that was going viral where he said that these days people say if you don't have friends that can give you 1 million naira, 2 million naira, that they are not. And then he now had to like really, what's the point of friendship? It's down to the core, values. Why do I like this person? It's not really about money. Yes, because I feel like people will say if I can't call 5 of my friends and they cannot give me 1 million naira, then they are not my, like, really. What about moral support? What about other things that a friend can provide for you? Do you get? Yeah, so I think that's a very important note, because these days people are now looking at transactional benefits more than the investment, like what they can actually companionship, right?
Exactly.
All those support and all of that. That's really great. Okay, so the next question is, now we're moving from friendship to talking stages.
Okay.
Yes. Everybody's talking about talking stages now, like it's the raving thing now, talking stages. So first of all, we know that talking stage is that stage where maybe exactly of the opposite sex, and you're asking intentional questions. I feel like talking stages is different from friendship. Yes. When you graduate from being friends to talking stages, it's a more serious. So you're asking like relationship questions, like trying to screen the person and stuff like that. So really, talking stages now seem to last forever. I've been in instances like that. Like I've been in a talking stage, and you think that, okay, we've been talking for 3 months. What's up? Like, are you not ready to pop the question? Don't you want to proceed? So why do you think people are afraid of commitment? Like these days, people don't want to go straight to the point. You're expecting them to move forward with the whole thing, and then you're talking stage for like 6 months, 1 year. So what's really happening? Why do you think people are afraid?
Okay, it could be a number of things. It could be a lot of reasons. First of all, some persons are scared. They have been hurt before. They have past trauma. So they've probably not healed from that, and so they find it difficult to commit to another person. That's one. Then it could also be that they are not ready, right, to move to the next stage of that friendship. It could be for financial reasons. It could be also spiritual reasons. Maybe they're waiting for confirmation from God regarding that person. Yes, so that's what could cause that delay.
Okay. So apart from all of this, if you rule all of this out, like, okay, the person is still healing from their past trauma, or the person is not ready financially or spiritually, what else again? It could also some people can be whole, right? They're good, they're financially, spiritually, they're okay emotionally, but they still can't commit. So
it could also mean this person is not serious about you. Like the person doesn't want anything meaningful.
Yeah, true.
Because I feel at a point in life, as when you become an adult and you're mature, you know what you want, especially with regards to marriage and relationships. When you see someone, you can tell if this is the person you want to have a long-term relationship with. So after a couple of months, the person is not popping the question. It looks like you guys are not heading in any
exactly, like
direction.
You're even more confused than being clear.
That person simply just doesn't want you, and it's best to take the sign and leave
and move on.
Yeah,
I think that's true, because some people will just be there having the hopes that, oh, maybe, one day he's going. And this affects ladies a lot because we are always the ones waiting for the guy to, ask the question. So, I mean, we already like this person, he's friendly and everything. He probably ticks most of the boxes. And you're like, okay, so what's up? When are you popping the question? But the truth is that you can't be in a talking stage for 6 months, 1 year, and you're still waiting for this person.
About,
do you understand? What exactly is it? Have you eaten? Please eat for me. All this kind of. I mean, like, there are times where you just have to tell yourself the truth, like, assess the situation and say, okay, maybe this person doesn't want to be in a relationship, and it's okay. Like, I always tell people that not everybody you meet that you must date. Some people are just your friends. The people come to your life for different reasons. You must not date them. So when you eventually get into a talking stage and it feels like it's taking forever for the person to put the question, you just be like, okay, you know what? Let's remain as friends. Maybe it's possible that this guy is not ready, or he doesn't just see me as someone he wants to be in a relationship with. Okay, just appreciate the friendship and move on. Like, so I think those your points really summarize why it seems like
it's very important to clock these things fast, early on time, so you don't just invest emotions and resources.
Exactly. I think another advice we like to give to ladies is that try to keep your emotions aside during the talking stage, because Pastor Laju Aaron will say talking stages dating generally is an interview phase. It's not the time to start catching feelings lovey-dovey kind of thing. It's the time to really ask important questions. So try and remove your emotions aside and just really get to know this person. And just be friends with the person. And should, in case the talking stage has taken longer than forever, just make peace. I know it's easier for you to move on when your emotions are not attached. It's easier to move on because it's like, okay, well, it was good and everything, and you just move on your life and you guys can just be cool and friends. But when your emotions are attached, that's when you begin to feel hurt, pained, and everything. So I think those are valid points, valid reasons why. So we'll go about the fourth question. At what point, talking stages, you also need boundaries. So we're talking about boundaries now. When should you introduce boundaries maybe in a friendship or a relationship? Do we have to wait till somebody has crossed an important line or has done something that you really cannot tolerate, or do you set those boundaries early on from the beginning? What do you think about it?
I think it's important to set boundaries right from the get-go. I don't think there's any reason, any point waiting. Because at that point, it's already too late. The person has already crossed the line and offended you. And it's like, you did not let me know ahead of time. So it's better to set these boundaries early so everybody knows.
There's this thing about, sorry to cut you short, there's this thing about giving people grace, right? So then people say, okay, because I'm giving you grace, you allow the person to step on your toes over and over and over again. So is it that the first time it happens, you call the person out on it, or how exactly?
The first time it happens, it's okay to feel hurt. We're humans. It's okay to express yourself in the most mature and calm way as you can. Yes, polite way. But then you also let the person know at that point that, I do not like this particular thing. So maybe going forward, try not to do this and that and that. You don't just bottle it up because
that's a dangerous way to
because it adds up and then you eventually explode later and the person is surprised, like, where is all this coming from? It's pent up anger and frustration you did not express.
So, that's really true, because I mean, you don't just wait for it to keep happening over and over and just keep bottling up. I mean, you need to be able to express yourself in a very calm, polite way and say, okay, this thing that happened, I didn't really like it. This is like one of my boundaries. I always like this to be done this way, and please, moving forward, I would like that we do this. A very
it doesn't have to be an argument.
It doesn't have to be a fight. Like, I see people, because of one particular thing, they are beefing themselves. They're not talking for several days, and I'm like, so really, that's not mature. Like, we're adults. Just, okay, look, this thing you did, I didn't really like it. This is one of my boundaries I like to keep. I would like you to do this, respect going forward. And then the person that really values you and values the relationship or friendship they have with you says, okay, I'm really sorry that I crossed this boundary, and moving forward I'll be very cautious. So I think it should be established early on, because there's this popular statement that you teach people or you show people how to treat you. So if you don't call out those things at the get-go, people will say, oh, so this girl can take this kind of thing. They will be treating you like trash, like dishing out rubbish to you, and you just be sucking up and you said pent up anger, right?
Yeah.
You begin to explode later on. So it's best to, show people how to treat you early on. Okay, look, I don't tolerate this. I don't like very polite, calm, sweet. You don't even need to be, you get. So yeah, I totally agree on that. So the next question is, now back to friendships. You know that there are friendships that are no longer healthy. We make friends from childhood.
Yeah.
We have childhood friends from secondary school, high school, till university, till adult school and all of that. So how do you know when this friendship is no longer healthy for you? Like, and then when you recognize that this friendship is no longer healthy for you, how do you walk away without? Because see, friendship heartbreak is much more painful.
Yeah, a lot
much more painful than relationship heartbreak, because this person has been in your corner, has been there for you. You guys have been close. You've shared a lot of things together, memories, and then for some reason you guys are now drifting apart. It can cause a lot of pain and resentment and bitterness. So how do you know if this friendship is no longer for you? Because people evolve, right? People change. Yeah. So how do you know this person is no longer, supposed to be your friend, and how do you walk away without bitterness?
This is quite a tricky one.
Yeah.
It's a controversial topic, but I'll start by saying that it's important to note that sometimes you outgrow friendships.
True.
It doesn't necessarily mean that you guys are beefing. It doesn't mean that there's a fight or anything. It just means you're not in the same phase of your lives anymore, and you have grown past that friendship. And I think just let the natural process take place in that instance.
Okay.
Allow it to happen. But in the case of having unhealthy relationships,
friendships,
it depends on the context, right, of the conflict or whatever the person did to you. I'd say communication is very important in whatever kind of relationship, be it friendship, relationship. So just try to have a dialogue with the person about the issue. Communicate, what went wrong, what got you upset, or why you were offended, and try to see if there's a way you can resolve it, right? And if that's not working, then there's really nothing much you can do. You just let it go. Yeah.
Personally, have you had any personal instance, maybe in your own life? Maybe there was someone that has been your friend for a long time, and for some reason, you guys drifted apart. It was becoming unhealthy. You feel like this person shouldn't be my friend. Was there any situation or scenario like that? Even if like recently in your adult life, or even back then in school or something, you can't remember any person you called a friend, and then because of some reasons the friendship became unhealthy, and you had to separate yourself. How were you able to any instance like that?
I'd say most of my friendships, what really happened, if I ever broke off with a friend, it was mostly because of distance or outgrowing the friendship.
Not because you guys really had any
yes
issue.
Either childhood friends, people move to different places, and distance comes in.
People move on.
They meet new persons, get closer to new persons.
That one.
So that's mostly the case for me.
So basically, in summary, what you're trying to tell us is, when you notice that, first of all, how to recognize that a relationship is unhealthy or a friendship is unhealthy, when you see that there's no peace, right? I think peace is also an important indicator. Like, you guys are always fighting, there's envy, there's a silent envy, jealousy, in the relationship, in the friendship,
or competition even.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's this, like, okay, she will do this one, I'll do this one. That kind of thing. So those kind of unhealthy competition. Also, if you notice, because like we said before, people evolve, right? I'm sorry to say, people evolve, better. Some people evolve worse. Because I'm sure you had scenarios where friends that were good before, and then you're like, what happened to this person? This person has become like worse than they've ever been before. So people's values can change. Some people can be very honest and have all those great qualities before, and then now they're like, okay, they are liars, they are cheats, they are doing a lot of criminal stuff. So these are ways you can tell that, okay, this person can no longer be my friend. Yes, this person cannot be in my space. Exactly, this person cannot be in my space anymore, and it's not healthy for me to be friends with this person. So now when you recognize that this person is no longer your friend, like you said, have a conversation with this person. If the person is really sensible enough, and you feel like this person is an adult that you can have mature conversations with, because the truth is not everybody can have tough conversations. But if you really love this person, boils down to genuine love for the person. If you really love this person, you would really want to try to make it work, try to resolve it. So I have an instance. So there was a time me and my best friend, there's something she did that I did not really like, and normally me, I'm someone that I'll just lock up and move on, but deep down it started to be paining me, you get. So I had to like politely call her out. I was like, okay, see, this thing, I'm not really comfortable with this, I don't really like this. I mean, it was a tough conversation for us to have as friends, but because we love ourselves enough to commit to really resolve this issue, we really want to make this friendship work. And I think that also applies in relationships too. Like, you really love this person, I don't think there's any issue that you cannot sit down and have a conversation about. You don't really necessarily need to fight or argue about it, right? So, but then when it becomes very toxic, like you said, even in relationships, issues, and it seems like you guys can never agree on this thing, I think it's just best to go your separate ways. And who knows, probably in the future you guys can come back and work at it again, but just really find peace with it and just move on. Okay, so that's with unhealthy friendships. Can a relationship really survive if two people have not come to spirituality? Of course, yes, the word tribe. So yeah, in terms of spirituality, there are people who are not on the same spiritual level with you. Some people are more spiritual. Some people are like, they're still like trying to, from their feet up and everything. So what happens? Can that relationship survive? Let's say you and somebody else, maybe the man you're with is less spiritual, and you're like, okay, you're above average, so do you think it can survive if you have like difference? What happens when you're pursuing God seriously and the other person is not like, okay, you know what, I'm chill, so do you think it can survive that kind of relationship? Do you think it can survive? Yeah.
This is very important actually in most relationships and friendships, right? I think it boils down to both of you being willing to make it work. Like I said earlier, if one person is more spiritually grounded than the other, is the other person willing and open to learning? That's one thing. Or are they just chill and laid back and they're like, you know what, it is what it is, you should be the carrier, the spiritual foundation of the friendship or the relationship it can't be solely on one person. It can't be solely on one person. It's very important that your values align, you have the same principles, both moral and spiritually. So this person should be open to growing with you. God, yeah. The Bible says iron sharpeneth iron. You cannot be unequally yoked with someone.
Yes, I was about to take that scripture, like, don't be unequally yoked with unbelievers.
You both have to be on the same page. This person has to be a believer and then open to growing and learning,
being more intimate
with God. Yeah. Yes, that's the only way it can work, because God is basically the foundation of a relationship.
Exactly. And I think the context we are talking about, we're not talking about you dating someone who does not know God at all. Okay, yes, that's the context, because then you have no business, like we said, don't be unequally yoked, so you have no business being with someone who does not believe in God. But in a situation where this person actually does believe in God, but maybe he's not spiritually fervent, he's not really intimate with God, and the person is willing, emphasis on willing, the person's heart is yearning to know God more and be intimate, I think that can work. You can give the person grace and
put the person in
prayers. Exactly. But in a situation where the person is like, so get out with your God.
If you're praying, it's enough.
Like, do you understand? Like, I need a praying wife. You're only the one carrying the spiritual body in the house, and the man is supposed to be like the priest,
spiritual head,
the priest of the house. So you can't be expecting the woman to be doing all the work. So in that case, and even like vice versa, if the man is spiritually fervent and the woman is not, the woman also needs to be on the same frequency. So she also needs to have a desire to be intimate with God as well. So I think these are really important. So it can survive based on the willingness of the person, readiness of the person's heart. Okay, so now we are going to red flags. Yes. The almighty red flags. So, people sometimes ignore, they see like this is a red flag, this is not what they want, but they ignore it because maybe they are scared of starting over again, or like, will I find somebody else? Will I find somebody good? So can you like highlight some certain red flags that you feel like people don't pay attention to early enough, or maybe they do but they just shove it aside, like they ignore it and they're like, you know what, I don't want to start over again, I'm tired, let me just manage, this manage. Pastor Major will say so far, so exactly, scarcity mindset, like Pastor Major will say so far na man, just because he's a man, you don't care whether the red flags is enough to sow a shrubby, you just want to go in with it because you're tired, you're scared of starting all over again. So what kind of red flags do you think that subtle but people need to identify it early on?
Okay, red flags actually it can be subjective sometimes. It can be based on your individual preferences,
sometimes trauma too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'll start from the very obvious one: lack of communication. You notice that your partner is this distant person who barely communicates, and you feel like it's going to improve later on in the relationship.
Minimum,
right? So I don't know why you are putting up with it instead of
ignoring it.
Yes, instead of letting him know that yes, this is not right. We're supposed to communicate properly and all of that.
I think that's a very powerful red flag, because people say, "Oh, he's very busy. Oh, he doesn't really have time." But guy,
is anybody really busy these days? Yeah. Like, we're mostly on our phones.
I feel like the word has been used so much that people use it so often, like, oh, I'm so busy. But truth be told, deep down inside there, I'm so busy, so I'm not really interested in you.
Yeah.
Or I don't really like you like that to be giving you so much attention.
Itself.
Yes, because I feel like no matter how busy you are, because
you make time for something you love.
This person is your heart, right? You feel for this person deeply. You should be able to spare a few minutes to say, hey, you know what? I'm busy. I'm just doing this. Yeah, I'm just checking in. I hope you're good. What's happening? What's going on with your day? Do you get? So I feel like that communication, that should be the barest minimum. Like, you should be able to tell people about your day, no matter how busy. Oh, I'm at work. I'm seeing a patient now. Okay, I'll talk to you. I'll message you. I'll call you in some few hours
it's the least you could do, really.
Yeah, it's the least. So I feel like if in 2026 you're ignoring the subtle communication red flags, I feel like,
what are you really doing?
What's with disgusting mindset? Like, we always feel like, okay, let's manage with this one. Like, I'm tired of starting over again. Like, where's your faith? Like, where's your belief? Like, there are many men out there, good men, God-sent men, who would give you everything that you deserve.
I know God wants the best for you. Exactly. He doesn't want you settling for less simply because of, there might not be somebody better out there. Trust me, there are a lot of good men out there. You just have to be willing to wait and have faith in God.
Exactly, trust Him.
He's coming to you.
There's this popular statement that I usually hear. People always feel like God's will is restricted to one person. Like, if you find this one person, even if the person is red flag, like all over his body, from head to toe is red flag, you still want to go in because God said, or it's God's will. But I feel like God's will is not restricted to one person, right? Yeah, people can look like where you're going to, and it's not just one person. You can have like 5, 10, 15 people who are going in the same direction with you. So God has given you the choice and free will to pick for as many as possible. So people should not have the mentality, this casting mindset that, see, God's our Father. He has more than enough for you. If one does not tick the box, if he has the too many red flags that you cannot deal with, there are other people that you can work with. You get? So I feel like people should not have that fear.
Do not limit yourself.
Yeah, like, don't box yourself because you're afraid of starting over. You're ignoring the obvious red flags. So the next question is, now you're in the talking stage, right? Active talking stage. I know this one is serious, heading to marriage, right? And there's this temptation to want to open your heart, like, okay, let me tell him, front and back, the good, the bad, the ugly. People have had different experiences in life, and you need to be careful how you open up to people, right? So because there's this thin line between being an open book and really guarding your heart, especially when you're getting to know someone, because you're not even sure if this person is going to be with you. It's like you're not sure if you're going to marry this person or if you guys work. So how do you avoid oversharing, or at what stage do you feel like, okay, now this is serious, I can open up and tell? So for instance, people can have health conditions, people can have secrets, things that they've had in the past mistakes, and it's at what stage can you now say, okay, I can now open up and tell this person. And at what stage we say, okay, it's still too early. Let me just, keep it to myself. Yeah.
I think this is where you ask for the guidance of the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Because discretion really comes into play here, right? You do not just go on and on and on talking about everything and anything and your secrets with this person, especially if you just
lose mouth.
Right? You need to be able to control yourself. What you say and all.
Yeah. So that would be like in the early stages of
yes.
Maybe not really got trusted this person
exactly
enough to be able to tell them. So yeah, I think it's a valid point. So I know we girls, honestly, we ladies, once we see a potential suitor, we are always in a hurry. We want to go and tell them our entire life, but you can't do that with someone. I mean, you even scare the guy away, like this one we are just talking 2 weeks ago, you're already telling me about your life history, about your family problems. I feel like the person, you guys have to talk. The person has to earn your level of trust to a certain extent, and you need to see the level of seriousness and commitment from this person to be able to say, okay, fine, you're going deeper now, you're really serious, you want to commit to this. Yeah, this is what's up, this is what's going on. So like you said, it boils down to discretion. The Holy Spirit has to really guide you. You need to hold your tongue and say, like, okay, let's say it's not time yet, hold on first. You guys are still getting to know yourself. When you guys now get to a later stage that, okay, he's now being more committed and serious, you can now say, okay, this is what it is. Yes, because I also believe that you have to be honest.
Exactly.
Because I hear crazy things is like people get married, they don't tell their partner that they cannot have children. Why?
Wow.
Yes, like you don't tell them before
That's
marriage, and you just bump it on them after the marriage, like, oh, I don't have, I cannot give birth to children.
That's
why?
unfair. That's like betrayal. Why would you hide such
it's like different stories. Or you have HIV, or you have a particular disease condition, and you're not sure with your partner before you marry the person.
That's crazy.
I understand that there's phobia and fear of getting rejected, but you just have to be open. So it has to be in the later stages, like before you start planning marriage, you begin to tell them those things. So yeah, I think that's the balance. Okay, so the second to the last question: is it possible to have deep emphasis on deep friendship with the opposite sex? Because we have now today's age, they say it's not possible. You cannot be friends with a guy. Certainly feelings will come up, you guys will start kissing, a lot of things will start being entangled. It can get really messy and complicated. But do you think, is it possible to have really deep friendship with the opposite without emotional confusion? Yeah, because we ladies, we are very emotionally endurant. So after talking with this guy for so long, this boy fine, see me late, that kind of thing. So do you think it's possible? And if it's possible, what boundaries do you think that can be put in place to help keep that kind of relationship or friendship healthy? What do you think?
Okay, I think it's possible to have friends of the opposite sex.
Okay.
Platonic friendships, they're really important, actually.
Yeah,
you cannot just be
balance.
friends. Yes, you need to create a balance. Have platonic friendships with the opposite sex. But you also need to establish boundaries. Right? That's the only way it's going to work. You cannot be in a relationship and then you say you have a male friend as your bestie, and you guys are doing all sorts of crazy things, sharing really deep secrets.
I need to pause you there. Let me say it now. Let me call it out. You cannot be in a relationship and have a male bestie. Period.
It's not possible.
You cannot be, as a man, you cannot be in a relationship with your babe and say you have a female bestie.
And it goes both
ways. I feel like it does not make any sense. It's rubbish. Like, why? Why are you having why can't your
outside
partner,
of your partner?
Why can't your partner be your bestie? So yeah, circling back to what you're saying, yeah. So you're saying that it's possible.
It's possible, yes. To have.
So give us examples. What practical boundaries can someone, if you're friends with a guy, how can you put those boundaries so that it does not get into emotional mushy stuff?
Okay, a boundary could be establishing no excessive touching or being handsy with each other. I mean, hugging is okay, basic hug, but those extra touches, and it gets to a point that this is not proper.
Yes,
it's inappropriate. Yes.
So, I know women, we be in our feelings. So when you touch it, you're like, okay, emotions are beginning to cropping.
So you just need to know when to spot that. Yes, exactly. And then also the kind of conversations you have.
Yeah,
Some
that's
really
also
intimate
very. I mean, like,
conversations
you're
that you
having.
shouldn't be having with your friends.
I'm sorry, guys, but you're being friends with a guy and then you're having X-rated conversations. Like,
That's not right.
why? You guys are just friends. Not like you guys are, even if you're in a relationship, like, I feel like as Christians, that should be off limits. You could have these conversations towards like marriage, yeah. But when you're just friends, I mean, what are you guys? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So yeah, I get that. Yeah, those are examples. Those are boundaries you need to put in place. I think another one that came to my mind is limiting the length of conversations you have. You can't be a friend with a guy and you're talking for 10 hours, 20 hours. Like, you're talking throughout the night.
What exactly are you talking about?
Like, late night conversations. That's how emotions creep in.
Yes.
And then you'll be like, what are we? Like, and the guy's like, dude, hold up. Like, I'm just being friends with you. Yeah, the guy's not even having any expectations. And you're already falling in love with the guy because you're giving room for too many unnecessary conversations. Yeah.
And you need to know that attention, when you give so much attention to a particular person, you're building a connection and a bond with this person. So if you really don't want that to happen, you need to be intentional. You need to create those boundaries.
Yeah, like this person should not rotate your entire day.
Yes, shouldn't be the center of your life.
Have other things you're doing, like have other friends you talk to, have other people you interact with. That person should not be the only person you give all your 100% attention, because once you start giving that kind of attention, trust me, feelings will start coming.
Of course.
Yeah, so I think it's possible. I also feel it's possible to have platonic friendship with the opposite sex. It's really, and I think it's really important. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that we should now go overboard and have excessive, excess, because I know a lot of some ladies have, they have mostly male friends.
I think that's a red flag.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I think it's a red flag if you have too many male friends as a woman or too many female friends as a man.
There just has to be a balance.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm not saying now because I'm saying it's possible, we're saying it's possible that you're not going to have too many male friends, or as a guy, you have too many female friends, but you do need those friendships in your life. Yes, because the truth is, there are different perspectives.
Exactly.
You cannot see life only from your own view or only from a woman's view. You need to see life from a man's view too. Yeah, and should be told, I feel like, shall I say this? I feel like as a woman, being friends with a guy is even more cool than being friends with
right?
Yeah, I feel like there's advantages to it. If you really know how to steward the friendship, right, you're going to enjoy being friends with a guy, because guys are just cool. Guys are just chill. Unlike women that we have all these beefing, envy, jealousy, emotions, competition here and there. Guys are just cool. So yeah, I think it's possible. Yeah. All right. So, oh my God, I can't believe this conversation is coming to an end. Yeah. So the last question is, after all that is said and done, right? We are all pointing towards having a relationship that honors God, because that's the ultimate thing. Yeah. So the summary of everything we are saying is that we need to have a friendship or a relationship that honors God, right? Or gives glory to God. So what do you think a God-honoring relationship will look like? Now, what I mean is, in practical, everyday life, give a scenario, everyday life, how would a God-honoring relationship look like? I think we've already touched on some of those things in the previous question. So not just in theory, but and the way you communicate with people, how you resolve conflict, how you treat each other. How do you think a God-honoring relationship would look like?
Okay, when God is the center of your friendship or relationship, it makes things easier.
True.
Because then you know how to handle situations. You do things based off of the scriptures, right? Yeah. You pause and think to yourself, okay, if I do this, does it honor God? Would Jesus be happy? Would God be happy that I'm doing this, right? And it teaches you to love right, to love this person right, be it your partner or your friend. So it really helps, having God as the center of your friendship, your relationship helps to guide and steward that friendship.
So in a typical scenario, for example, everyday life, let's say in a day, that friendship you have, a relationship, it boils down to not having malice, it boils down to forgiveness.
Exactly.
Because people will definitely hurt you, your friends will definitely hurt you, your partner will definitely hurt you. So honoring God in a relationship looks like forgiving the person,
getting rid of envy and jealousy.
Exactly, all those evil, wicked emotions. Getting rid of all of that, and just loving the person selflessly, right?
The way God would want
exactly
you to.
the way God would love that person.
Yeah,
exactly. Just being. So I feel like at the end of the day, a relationship that honors God or a friendship that honors God is just you being like Christ.
Yeah,
you being like Jesus. So you're just emulating Jesus in your relationship or in your friendship. This has been really wholesome
and enlightening.
Some things I'm like, it really adds up. It really adds up, So I'm really grateful. I want to say thank you for joining me on the What Tribe set today. I'm sure that the listeners have really gained learned it about this. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you have any contributions, also do well to let us know in the comments. Do you have any last words for them before we go?
Okay, I would just like to say, friendships and relationships take a lot. It's a lot of work, right? Yeah. You need to be ready to build and invest in it. It's not just something that you get up and say, "Oh, I'm tired. I want to leave." You need to be ready to put in the work, right? And just ask God for guidance in whatever you're doing.
And friendships are really beautiful.
Relationships
are really beautiful
when they're done the right way and healthy.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much. Oh my God. Yeah, so that's my sister, you guys, and it's such a pleasure to have her on the set. Until I come your way again, please steward your friendships and relationships rightly. Bye.